Good morning, gang. Saturday morning. Well, uh, if y'all saw the news that came out last night, of course, after business hours and everything, typical Friday night, stuff something in there so nobody notices. The Sixth Circuit Court overruled the Fifth Circuit Court, allowing for Biden's mandate on companies over 100 employees to reinstitute the mandate. Okay. Inevitably, this is heading to the Supreme Court. Okay, there's no doubt about it. It'll probably be an emergency hearing of the Supreme Court. It's not just going to get thrown on the docket and heard, 2 years from now or whatever it would be, like a lot of cases. This one will wind up going quickly. But I want you to think about why and what the ramifications are of doing this, what the purpose is. And I mean, we all keep saying, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Why is the mandate, all these mandates so important? Well, let me give you a good answer. It's pretty much well known that the Democrat Party, even before the tilt to the communist left, has always been anti-big business. Okay, I mean, they hate big oil, they hate big pharma, they hate big anything. Okay, except for big government. That's the only thing they like. So what's their idea here? Well, companies over 100 employees, which would include big companies, but I won't say only, because there's a lot of small companies that have 100 employees. All right, think of any decent sized bar and restaurant. I mean, you've got 100 employees. They're not all working at the same time, but yeah, you've got that many. So, what's the point? Now, I want you to think, when I say big oil, all right, if they can get enough 100 employee plus companies to struggle or go out of business, which, tip of the nose thing, makes no sense to me, because that's where tax revenue comes from. All right, it's where jobs come from. That's where more tax revenue comes from. Gee, you don't have any taxes. Guess what? You killed, stepped on your own foot. So, everybody go, well, you know what? I'm not a big fan of ExxonMobil, or I'm not a big fan of Pfizer, or whatever it would be, or Walmart, or Amazon, or any of the big companies. But take a step back, all right, and think of other companies. Are you a fan of canned vegetables? Yeah, those are big companies. I mean, it's not mom and pop. Del Monte is not a mom and pop operation. Okay. Are you? Do you use a bank or a credit union of some sort? More than 100 employees. Okay. Remember, Saleh Amarova, even though she's not around, but it's still the Democrat mantra. They want the government in control of all your money. All right. So let's get rid of the banking system. Oh, you like electricity in your house? Well, Duke Energy or Commonwealth Edison or PSE&G or whoever. Guess what? They got more than 100 employees too. Okay. What this will do is drive us back to the 1800s again. And I know we talk about this all the time. Okay. When you get into small communities. But again, go back to what small communities had in the 1800s. You want to travel? Nope. I mean, most people in the 1800s never traveled further than 20 miles from their house, and because it was on horse. Okay. You don't have a lot of mom and pop automakers. Don't tell me Tesla is a mom and pop. Okay. And even then, who the hell can afford a Tesla? Okay. So forget about having cars. Forget about having gasoline. Okay. Not a whole lot of mom and pop refineries out there. So this is what it gets back to, of there's no grocery stores, there's no transportation, There's no movies. There's no television. There's no electricity. There's no nothing. This is Abe Lincoln living in a one-room log cabin going back to the 1800s. Now, we all say roughly 90% of the preppers won't be able to make it in a situation like that. I will tell you, 100% of the normies won't be able to make it in a situation like that. And there ain't a single politician who is going to make it. Okay. A, they don't have the skills. We've talked about that. But B, there sure as hell ain't going to be a whole lot. Yeah, come on in, join our community here. You know, you did such a great job in Washington. Come help us. No. Okay. This is what this mandate actually is. This is an attempt. This is a total 100%, no questions asked, no doubt whatsoever, communist takeover of the United States. This is the far left, which is basically the entire Democrat Party at this point, ex Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, trying to turn us into a communist country where the government controls everything. Now, there's some 20-odd Democrat congressmen right now who see the writing on the wall and go, oh, hell no, I'm out of here. I want no part of this, okay? And they're retiring, okay? They're not going to campaign. They're not going to raise money for this. And I will bet you that most of them are going home going, honey, we got to figure out something because this is a train wreck waiting to happen. Because remember, they know more of what's going on than you, me, CNN, Fox, anybody ever will, okay? Because even though there's leaks in Washington like crazy, there's still some stuff that they don't tell anybody. Otherwise, Nancy Pelosi'd never be making millions in the stock market every year, okay? You know, by the time we all know, it's too late. But this is what this mandate does. It mandates that anybody over any employee over 100 people get vaxxed. Okay? Again, that's putting the companies in charge of enforcing government rules. When have you ever heard that before? All right? Gee, I mean, literally, can your company arrest you? No. Okay, they can fire you, but they can't detain you. They can't force you to. They can tell you, hey, your shift is from 4 to 10 this week, and you can say no, and you can get fired. But they can't force you to do it. This is what is going on here. The companies are now being the enforcement arm of the federal government. And some of them are acquiescing. Some of them aren't, okay? The ones that are make no sense to me because they're basically cutting off their own head. They want government control. Look how good government control did for the auto industry in 2008. Look how good government control did for the phone companies back in the 70s. Look at the cost of airplane tickets before deregulation. Okay. When the government gets ownership, if you will, in everything, quality goes down and prices go skyrocketing up. Now, think about that for your food. Does that kind of sound familiar with what's going on right now? The government screwed up the supply chain, and the cost of food has gone through the roof. The cost of everything's going through the roof. Okay, guys, y'all know I've turned down 3 clients. I'm not working. Haven't been working in 2 months now because I will not do this. I will not support a company that is mandating the vaccines. I absolutely refuse to. And it gets tougher every day. There's no question. Okay. But you cannot compromise your principles. Somehow, somewhere, some way, you gotta figure out how to stick to what you truly believe in. And if these companies are gonna mandate it, I can't tell you what to do. But if in your heart you know it's wrong. You have an obligation to yourself, to your family, to say no and walk. Some companies are already backing down from these mandates, saying we can't do it. Hospitals, Amtrak, saying we can't do this. We're not going to. Okay. A lot of companies, Kroger just flipped the other day, they are. Okay. The only thing we can do is vote with our dollars, guys. We need to tell Kroger, sorry, I'm not shopping here anymore. Just not happening. You know, you're going to treat your employees like shit. We hope they all quit, and we hope you go out of business. I'm sorry. You're the second largest grocery store in the United States, and obviously you do not have American values. Pray to God the Supreme Court overturns the overturning, okay, which I have a tendency to think they will, all right, because we're taking out the entire definition of liberty with this mandate. But, you know, again, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't undo this. And there's enough people that, and I still say this is what's going on. Threaten them, threaten them, threaten them, threaten them. Finally, they'll just fall into line. And then when the Supreme Court says, oh, gee, the mandate's unconstitutional, it's not like they can take the shot out of your arm. I think that's what they're trying to do. We'll see what happens in the next year or so, but, you know, we've already seen the 79% number, you know, for example. What is the ultimate plan? At least in the United States, I think it's communism. It's to destroy big business. Have a good Saturday. Pinball out.